A couple of weeks before our race at Edgewater, Tom Ritchie reached out, said he was going to be testing Blastro and I should come down to National Trail for the Jax Wax event. So I loaded up the van and headed south to Columbus. We met up at Tom's house, the home of the baddest vans in the land, and we hung out for a while we waited for his crew to get there. Once everyone had arrived, we loaded up and headed to National Trail. I don't know what size turbo Tom has in the Mama Blastro hauler, but I could barely keep up with this thing. We got to go in through the back gate VIP entrance, which proved to be a little bit of an issue when it came to getting my tech card later on, and we headed towards the VIP parking lot. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this event, but I assumed it would be similar to when Norwalk used to have the Super Summit shows. Tom and his crew winched Blastro out of the hauler while I pulled off my wood ramps with my head out the window, which honestly is kind of how I prefer it. The VIP section turned out to be more of a car show style parking lot and was kind of tricky for racers. As the day went on, it just got filled up with more and more and more Hellcats. They made an announcement that every car that was going to go down the track had to go through tech first. Now I was confident I wasn't going to have an issue until I looked around and realized that I did not have a tech card. But eventually I got that straightened out. One thing I will say that was really nice was they had a special staging lane just for VIP vehicles, and it went fast. I'm pretty sure I was in high school the last time I went down National Trail Raceway. Bill and Austin came down to show support, which is always appreciated.
Can you see where the back tires are, or you want that guy to where the water stops? If you get into the water, yeah. All right, I'll guide you right where it starts to get dry, because they're dragging water off. So if you stop, I'm doing my burnout.
Overall, I'm pretty comfortable in the van, and I've got a pretty decent program down now, but I always get anxious when it comes time to get through the staging lanes. Bill guided me through the water box. This guy yelled at me to roll up my window. Big smoky burnout for the crowd, arm the nitro system, open the valve. And we're ready to go down the drag strip. Except for this guy yelling at me to close my sunroofs. Okay, now we're ready to go down the drag strip. I was so in a zone, I didn't even remember if it was a pro tree or a sportsman tree until I watched the footage back. I didn't really have an idea of what number it ran, but I knew it was a pretty solid pass. The one thing that I forgot to do before the race was turn my two-step up to 3,500 because I still had it set at 2,500 for the street. Other than that, the nitrous came on great, front end came up, I was happy. Just needed to collect my time slip and head back to the pits. I went 670 in the 8th and 1061 at 123 in the quarter, new personal best. Now, like I said, I haven't raced here in almost 30 years, and I got a little turned around trying to head back to the pits and ended up in the car show, which is not usually where I want to be after a run. Things need to cool down, my nitrous valve was purging itself, and I was not happy. But at least you get to see the car show. Also around this time, my fuel pressure gauge decided to lose its mind again, and just kept climbing. It was in the 60s, I think. By the time I got back to the pits, it was at 99, which I assumed meant it's just the gauge is bad. Otherwise, I'd be dousing these people with fuel right now. I finally found the right aisle to get me back to the VIP pit section, and then traffic stopped. I was definitely not happy.
Come on!
It turned out Tom didn't even get to make a run. While they were warming Blastro up, they found out they had a broken adjuster and a bent valve.
I sure hope my fuel pressure gauge is wrong.
Why?
Because it was just at 99.
What, on the nitrous?
No, my regular fuel pressure. But it's not spewing out of the exhaust, so I think that
It's not right. Exhaust is not.
So, while I let things cool down and decided if I was going to make another run or not, we watched some racing. I wasn't the only van there.
Yeah. For sure. Yep.
the best seat in the house for the burnout contest. So other than a gauge to replace and a purge button to fix, we're ready for Edgewater.